April is a super exciting month. There's so much happening with Jupiter conjoining Neptune. This is something that happens once every 13 years, and 3, not the normal 2 lunations that include a solar eclipse in Taurus. There's a lot to talk about, so let's dive in and break it all down. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer. I do natal relationship predictive readings. You can always book one with me at my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know that you are watching and enjoying my videos. Because April is so big and massive, I'm doing a video where I'll just talk about the transits and how they will affect us in general. I might do a video with rising sign horoscopes. I haven't decided yet, but let me know if you'd like me to do one in the comments below. And before I dive in, I am writing personal April horoscopes. They include all of the transits that are happening globally, the descriptions of how those affect you, as well as smaller personal transits that are unique to every person I do the reading for. You can order this reading by emailing me at info@anastasiadoesastrology.com, or you can DM me on Instagram. So let's talk about it. I am super excited. April is definitely a big month. One can argue the biggest month the entire year. Lots to cover, lots to talk about. Many exciting things, some challenging things, but not a whole ton. Until April 29th, all planets are moving direct, and until the 19th, we are in the Aries season, so there's a lot of energy to get things done. Can you tell? I'm recording this during Aries season. I have all the energy to talk about this stuff. So we start the month with a new moon early at night, with a new moon in Aries on Friday, April 1st. I did a video on that specifically. It has rising sign horoscopes, so check that out. But this new moon conjoins Chiron, so there's tremendous healing opportunities. It's also happening in close proximity to Mercury, so a lot of healing done through words, through therapy, through deep, powerful conversations. You are encouraged to speak, journal, write, paint about your pain, find all the ways in which you can express it and heal it, and take responsibility for your life, take responsibility for your actions. Aries is an independent sign, passionate, fiery, active, courageous. So you're called to find healing in the idea that you have control, that regardless of what happens in your life, you still have the power to change your mindset, to look at things differently, and to apply that point of view that every experience makes you stronger. Quite exciting new moon. Definitely check out that other video that I mentioned. Mercury kazimi happens on Saturday, April 2nd. Mercury kazimi, such a cool word, right? Is a conjunction between the Sun and Mercury. And it's a perfect conjunction. It's like when they are a few minutes apart. And traditionally, when the planet is close to the Sun, it's considered to be burned up by the Sun. It's not as strong, it's under control of the Sun. But then we get a few hours or, a day or two, depending on which planet you're talking about, when the planet is right next to the Sun. And that is considered an empowered position. It's like they are locked in a throne room. That planet gets to talk to the Sun, gets to hear the secrets from the Sun as the Sun whispers softly into the planet's ear. And for those days, or that day, Saturday, April 2nd, we may possibly get some interesting insights. Pay attention to the signs, pay attention to conversations you're having with other people, videos you're watching. There's important messages. And it's also really great for manifesting, for writing down the things that you want to achieve, and getting to it. Monday, April 4th is tricky because Mars conjoins Saturn. And this always shows up in different ways. But more often than not, it is frustrating. So be ready that, April 4th is not going to be the easiest day because Mars wants to go. Mars is active. Mars is passionate. Mars has a bit of that youthful, devil might care energy. And Saturn is the opposite of that in some ways. Saturn is about planning and long term and slowness and steadiness and persistence. So it's like literally hitting the wall. You're like rushing, you're excited about something, and Saturn is like, nope. Say you started a business and you felt ready to start seeing clients, and then you get some kind of notification that you're not ready or your supplies are not finished, right? So there might be that sense of like being delayed, facing roadblocks, frustrations in the Aquarius sector of your chart. However, Saturn rewards patience. Saturn encourages you to stay on course and work hard and do not give up. So try not to freak out and flip out, which, we're still in Aries season at that point, might be hard. But if you persevere, if you accept that rules can be good and they can be wonderful guidelines for your growth, there's definitely a possibility of success. One of the super exciting things is that Venus enters Pisces on Tuesday, April 5th. She's going to stay in Pisces until May 2nd. So we get almost a month of Venus in the sign that she's exalted in. Pisces is the sign ruled by Jupiter. There is that sense of kind of bringing things together. Like Jupiter is interested in coherence. Jupiter is expansive. Pisces tries to make sense of everything. It tries to embrace everything. It's accepting, right? Loving. So when Venus, the planet of love, goes into Pisces, we become a lot more interested in spiritual matters, in soulful connections. We're more romantic, we're more forgiving, we have more power to be in the moment versus analyze it to death, said Venus in Virgo. So it's great time, and considering that Venus really struggled in March, she was stuck between Mars and Saturn for most of the month, and maybe you've experienced a lack of romance, maybe things felt dry and boring, and finances may have been tough, and there just wasn't a lot of joy. So you're getting a chance to have more fun. And just be careful because, as always, Pisces can be too boundless. There's no boundaries. There are issues with boundaries. So be careful that you're not like going out partying nonstop and wasting all of your money or spending all of your money on things that are not worth it, getting involved with people who are not treating you right. Just try to stay a little bit grounded. April 7th until 8th, Mercury sextiles Saturn and Mars. So this is great for taking action towards any intellectual pursuits, studying, sales, business activities, filing paperwork, asking others for help. Great time. Mercury squares Pluto on April 10th, and that is like secrets coming to light. Because Mercury is the messenger, Pluto is the darkness. So when you have the two of them in a tense aspect, like a square, there is more of a chance that something happens, or you hear something. I'm like super excited about it for some reason. Drama. But there's definitely potential for internally getting triggered by something. You find a message from an ex in your email, and you go down this obsessive path of like, what went wrong, what did you do wrong, how things could have been differently. So be careful of that. Try to pay attention to what comes up and transform it. And I feel Aries energy is very strong currently. So as much as you can, take responsibility for what happened. If it is the ex, right? Like, say, I've dated this person, I made a choice, I'm happy for all the things that I've learned, and I'm happy I'll never date someone like that again, right? There's always something to learn. However, there might be secrets coming out from someone else. Keep me posted too, let me know what's happening in your lives as the time progresses. I'd love to hear your stories to see how it manifests in real life. But there might just be darker realizations and secrets and a little bit of scandal at that time. So lay low. Maybe don't go out with a friend that you're having issues with. Try to talk to them honestly about it some other day. The effects lessen later on April 10th because Mercury enters Taurus until April 29th. And our thinking becomes more practical, more rational, slow, and deliberate. Arguably, the biggest transits of the entire year is Jupiter conjoining Neptune. And I'm going to make a separate video about that. This happens on April 12th. And even now, we're sort of already feeling this energy building up. All of March, I feel like. All of the transits that, like Jupiter sextile Uranus and some other things, it's all building up to that Jupiter and Neptune conjunction. And it's very exciting. It's Jupiter in its very powerful position and the sign that it rules in the very spiritual, altruistic, generous, sensitive sign of Pisces, imaginative sign of Pisces, conjoining, coming together with the planet of expansion, the boundless ocean of imagination, growth, altruism, spirituality, like all of those things. Whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you believe in. Jupiter is the planet of belief and faith and like optimism, growth. Whatever you focus on, grows. And whatever you're trying to, like, even literally if you have like a plant in your apartment, you may see in April this plant flourish. So think of your inner world and what seeds are you planting? Are you looking in the mirror and like blowing kisses at yourself, telling yourself positive things, or are you questioning yourself and being negative and skeptical? Try to think positive thoughts and be ready to be surprised. Be ready for the universe to reflect that at you. And it's also because it's the imaginative transit, there is a chance that from a grain of imagination, a teeny tiny bit of faith, something beautiful and magical growth. So I'm super excited. Sun also sextiles Saturn the same day. So in a sense, there is a need to take responsibility for your role in the collective and maybe make sure that your vision and your dreams are including other people and are directed towards helping and bettering the lives of other people. Mars enters Pisces on April 14th. It's going to stay there until May 24th. Mars in Pisces is very interested in inspiring other people. It's not necessarily aggressive. It's not direct. So we might be going after our goals in a bit of like, like a fish, not in a direct way. We're more concerned with spiritual things once again, and we're higher minded, we're more generous, and we want to touch people's souls with everything we do, which is lovely to go together with Jupiter and Neptune. There is like a party in Pisces at this point. Jupiter and Neptune, Venus and Mars by April 14th. Pisces party. On April 16th, we get a full moon in Libra. More on that. I'm going to be making a video, of course, as we get closer to that. Full moon in Libra on April 16th. It squares Pluto in Capricorn. So that creates a T-square, a tense T-square between Aries, Libra, and Capricorn. And you may be releasing some unhealthy people-pleasing tendencies. You may be finding more balance in your life. But there might be emotional kind of like things tense and emotional. Full moons tend to be that way, especially when Pluto is involved. It's even more tense. It is a T-square, so when we get 3 points 3 cardinal placements, you're missing one. So it releases, we call it like releases into Cancer. And the answer to this full moon, the best way of handling it, deals with Cancerian. It's a Cancerian way of handling it. So taking care of your emotions, listening to how you're feeling, and resting, right? Creating a comfortable shell for yourself, getting good snacks, taking a bath, and allowing yourself to chill. Ease in communication, social skills, charm come with Mercury sextiling Uranus on April 17th. Perfect day to tell someone how you feel, to write, to ask for favors, to sell, to make a YouTube video. Great time for that. Sun enters Taurus on April 19th. So we let go a little bit of that self-oriented energy of Aries, but we focus more on productivity. We become more sensual, maybe a little bit slower, more deliberate, more relaxed. We're focusing on building solid foundations and long-lasting connections. Pluto goes retrograde on April 29th, and the retrograde will last until October 8th. So it's an annual retrograde. It's not the most dramatic retrograde out of them all, but Pluto deals with power, obsessions, control, things that control you. So this time might be significant for you and will give you an opportunity to examine your habits and things that are shoved under your bed, things that you're not admitting to yourself, right? Like what is control? What or who controls you? Are you too invested in the life of your partner? Are you codependent in your relationship? Are you sacrificing your personal needs? Do you have any habits that are negative that are controlling you, right? Like scrolling too much on Instagram, checking your phone 171 times a day. We live in this time where we're so attached to technology and social media. So I'm wondering if this retrograde of Pluto can be a source of change, can be the time during which we release some of our unhealthy attachments and put in place new ones that are better for us. Mercury enters Gemini the same day, April 29th. Mercury in Gemini is Mercury in rulership. If you need to write, if you're waiting for inspiration, this might be the time. Mercury begins its retrograde in Gemini on May 10th. So we have a couple of weeks and then Mercury retrograde starts. But this could be a busy time with lots of phone calls, lots of ideas, mind just going very, very quickly. So lovely time, but also perhaps you want to find a way to ground yourself and put in spiritual practices, connect with nature, turn your phone off once in a while, and spend some time focusing on your well-being. Finally, another really big event this month is the solar eclipse in Taurus conjunct Uranus on April 30th. A very interesting eclipse. Venus, the ruler of this eclipse, conjoins Jupiter the same day. Venus and Jupiter, and Venus being strong, being together with Jupiter is just like very positive and very lovely. So Uranus creates, and eclipses always create an energy of unexpected new beginnings, but it feels like there's a positive spin on it because of Venus-Jupiter. Venus-Jupiter is lovely for romantic new beginnings, for fertility, right? Like, cannot imagine possibly a better transit to get pregnant. I mean, I'm sure you can, because eclipses are tricky, right? Like, it's not usually recommended to start anything major or elect a chart in electional astrology right on the eclipse. But Taurus solar eclipse will want to bring something material and something solid in your life. Of course, we'll talk about it in more depth by the time it rolls around, but things like getting pregnant, building a house, buying a house, winning a lottery, making changes to your body, making changes to your home, finding new resources, finding new clients, tangible things, material things, financial things. There's a possibility of new beginnings there. And we're going to get a lunar eclipse in Scorpio in May. And eclipses always work in cycles, right? So this is a part of a longer cycle of Taurus Scorpio eclipses. I did do a video about lunar nodes in Taurus and Scorpio, so check that out. And let's talk about this more as these events roll around. Let me know which one are you most excited about. Is there something that you're marking on your calendar and looking forward to? And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Talk soon. Bye.